I think we should let it rip.
All right.
Right?
Wait, clap for action. And action.
Oh,
that was a bad
that
one.
could be better.
All right, perfect.
Hey, I'm Lexi.
And I'm Makai.
And this is Between the Miles.
And today we're going to be talking about the Salomon Aero Glide 4 Gravel.
It's a mouthful of a shoe.
It's pretty bad.
All right. So before we jump into anything, we're just going to give you a quick disclaimer that we were given the shoe by Salomon for the purposes of testing. We're under no obligation to say whether we like or dislike the shoe. We're just here to give you our honest opinion, and they're all our own. And that's it. So going into the shoe specs here, we're just going to get this out of the way again for all the nerds out there. This shoe, the Aero Glide Gravel, is coming in at a price of $160. The midsole is made of this OptiFOAM foam from Salomon. It's an EVA-based foam. The outsole is going to have this gravel contra grip. It's got 2.5 millimeter chevron lugs. The upper is going to have this seamless 3D open mesh. It's also got this internal SensiFit and EndoFit. This is the technology that they call it. And basically all that does is hugs your foot in place for a more precise fit. Stack height of the shoe is going to come in at 41 millimeters in the heel and 33 millimeters in the toe. The drop is coming in at 8 millimeters. And the weight is going to be 10 ounces for a men's shoe and 8 ounces for a woman's shoe. So with all of that being said and done, we're going to hop into our conversation now. So Makai, what did you think about the fit and feel of this shoe?
Yeah, I got my normal size 10 and I thought it was perfect. I think you maybe thought a little differently, at least initially, but
I had an issue.
Yeah, I thought it fit true to size, it was comfortable, kind of no issues with the fit.
Yeah, I had issues. So I had tried on the 8.5s, and they felt huge, just like way too big for me, mainly in like the volume of the shoe here. So I ended up going down a half size, and I'll go into this more later in my experience in the shoe. But I did go down a half size, went on a run, didn't have a great time, went back up to my usual 8.5. What did your testing look like in the shoe?
Yeah, so I got in right at 100 miles in it, so plenty of testing. And most of my runs were kind of door to trail, what do you call it? So like 70% light trail, 30% road. Ended up doing 2 long runs, one being 18 miles, one being 20 miles.
Nice.
Pretty much all easy runs. I picked up the pace a little bit on one of my long runs, but yeah, plenty of testing in it. Nothing too crazy though. How about you? Great.
Yeah, I hit 87 miles in this shoe. I just totaled it right before this. And yeah, my longest run was 20 miles. All of the terrain was a lot of like lightly groomed to like kind of technical trails. I also hit the beach at one point in it, got some shoreline running. Yeah. And then finished up some more mileage on the road there. Yeah, what did you think about the overall ride of the shoe and just your experience?
Yeah, I thought it was really comfortable. It's kind of in that cushion category I like. 40 millimeters, it's max stack, but it's not overkill max stack. Yeah, it was a really comfortable, smooth ride. I felt like it was a little bit on the softer side, not necessarily mushy, but definitely not like a firm shoe like we just talked about the Monster. Like that was much more firm.
Yeah.
But it had a good amount of responsiveness to it. It was, on like my one long run, I ended up picking up the pace on it, getting probably down to like marathon pace, and it actually felt really good. It's not responsive enough that I'm gonna take it out for a workout, but yeah, the ride overall was really smooth, really comfortable, and I really liked it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a good, there's like a cactus little prick in mine.
Nice, nice.
I think I did kick a cactus at one point in this. But overall, I mean, overarchingly, I liked it. I think the sizing issue for me, it initially, like I said, there was just a lot of space, like volume in the forefoot, so I had a problem trying to fit that correctly. When I went down to that half size below, so a size 8, the forefoot volume-wise was perfect, but then it was like too short on my toe. And so what had happened was when I went out for my run, I went down like a pretty steep descent there, and my toe was just like I always tell people in the store, like, if you feel your toe kissing the end of the shoe, then you don't, like, that's not good. My toe was like French kissing the end of the shoe. I was like, this is not good. So I went back up to that half size, and then I had issue with just the volume. So I had to really, really cinch it down.
Yeah.
Overall, though, like the underfoot feel of the shoe was great. I also thought well, actually, no, you said you thought it was really soft. I felt like it was on the firmer side. It's very adequately cushioned, but it does just feel like a firm bounce to me. So that was kind of, I don't know, that's just at least how I felt in it. In terms of just handling on the trail though, because I did take it on some more like kind of technical routes, I did run into some issues with like the stability of the shoe on that. And I mean, granted, it's a high stacked shoe, so there's that. Also, Salomon doesn't like say this is a technical trail running shoe. I just took it on that, and I had some issues with like ankle rolliness. Did you ever run into that?
Yeah, so I never took it on anything technical. Initially, I wanted to. Kind of time-wise, I wasn't able to. However, kind of my daily route from my house, it's mostly light trail, but we've had some rain recently, and kind of some of the dirt's washed away, and there's some little more rocky sections. And yeah, going over those, I could tell that I was rolling a bit more to where I wouldn't want to take it on anything too technical, as well as just not getting too far ahead, but the outsole doesn't really have enough traction where I definitely wouldn't take it on anything steep. So yeah, I guess with that, do you think gravel is like marketing, or do you think there's actually a good use case for it?
Yeah.
Because I have an opinion, but I kind of, what do you think?
Just that like gravel shoe category. Yeah, it's an interesting one, because I do think that I guess my initial thoughts were like, this is just marketing. Like, what are we trying to do? Make a gravel bike? You know, like it's a gravel shoe. Like, what is that? Yeah. But after having some more experience, like running in these shoes and then helping out so many customers in the store too, I have like walked that back, and I do think that there is a place for it. Yeah, I think it's a good spot. If you are able to have like a lot of shoes in your rotation, then it's nice to have a shoe like this for, I know we were talking about like one of our local like light trail spots, like Lake Hodges. It's great for that if you want just a little bit of traction and you don't want to like eat up the rubber of your road shoe. This will give you that. But if you don't want all of like the stickiness and lugginess of a real trail shoe, that was probably offensive, of a more aggressive trail shoe, then this is a great option for that. And then also I think someone who's like doesn't have the money maybe to get multiple pairs of shoes and wants to kind of get into trail running, I think it's good for that. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. My first few runs, that was like the question I had in my mind. I was like, is this marketing, or is it actually useful? And again, I thought it was marketing at first, but you know, like a lot of road shoes now have no outsole rubber. So if you take it on any of these trails that are maybe have a little bit, like again, around my house near Balboa Park, you can get away with a road shoe most days, but there's some sections, like I said, a little rockier, maybe you're kind of going down the side of a canyon. A lot of these, if there's no rubber on the outside of a shoe and it's just like maybe rubberized foam, like on most road shoes now, you can kind of slip a little more. I also think a lot of road shoes are softer, so going over some uneven terrain, you might be less stable. And then again, it's something that you don't want like a more aggressive outsole for. And then also, like when I ran on the road in this shoe, I didn't feel like I had lugs on, which I thought was really nice. So yeah, I think there is totally a use case for it. And again, if your local trails are more light, where there's not a lot of rocks or being too steep, but you kind of want more than a road shoe, it's perfect. Also, again, if you're doing a lot of like door to trail, I think it's great, or if you just are able to get multiple shoes. So yeah, I think there's some use to it. Yeah, no, totally. I think it's perfect for that. And again, I mean, going down those like really steep descents too, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this already in my like overall experience in it, but I was slipping kind of down a very scrabbly steep descent in this. So I think just to note that it's maybe not for like that technical of a trail, but if it's any of that lighter groom stuff, it's great. Besides the fit of the shoe, was there anything you didn't particularly like about it? Okay, yes, I had some issue with the lacing system. And it's interesting because I usually
I love Salomon's like quick lace system here. Well, not necessarily this one, but in the past I've loved their quick lace system. This one just felt really funky to try and like adjust to my foot because it's kind of attached to the shoe in the middle here. So it almost adjusts like from the middle of your foot out. So you have to play around with like the forefoot first and then tighten the back end of it or like higher up on your foot. But then the problem with that for me is because the lace garage is way down here, like closer to the forefoot. Once these laces were tightened, I was having a hard time getting the rest of the lace tucked into the garage. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, same dislike. The laces were weird. So I've worn a handful of Salomons in the past, and I really like their quick lace system. You kind of just pull it on, tuck it. This one took me a little bit. Not that long to figure out, but enough time that I was like, what the heck's going on with it? Yeah, you definitely had to kind of finagle. I don't know if that's the right word. But you had to screw with it a little more to tighten it all the way, because if you just pulled it, kind of tighten the middle and that was it. And you know, I think with the lace garage being in the middle, I can see them putting it there because the old laces being on like kind of right on top of your foot, maybe it puts some more pressure kind of where your ankle and foot bend. So like the lace garage, I had no problems with. But it was the kind of tightening of the laces. I definitely debated cutting them off and putting on normal laces. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Like just take an extra 30 seconds to figure it out when you lace up your shoes isn't that bad, but
for sure.
I can see it being like an immediate turn off for people.
I agree with that. I'm curious too though with your note about like the difference in the lace garage, because I really liked when it was up at the top here, and I was going to say but like I would put it up there, but did you ever have that experience with that like pushing on your ankle?
Only one, but it was a Kite S-Lab shoe that was like hyper kind of tight everywhere, like very glove fit.
That makes sense. So would you keep the lace garage down here in this one, do you think?
I think I would, but I would still have it tightened from the top.
No, that makes sense. Interesting. I think I would probably move the lace garage up to the top if I could change something, but But
other than that though, like I didn't have any complaints about the foam or the kind of ride at all.
Foam felt great. Underfoot was great. I think the 20 miles that I ran in it felt super comfortable the whole way. I guess with that, have you run in the previous version of this before?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have a ton of comparison to what it feels like.
Okay, well,
how about you?
Thankfully I have.
Okay, perfect, there we go.
I did run in the threes a bunch. And so this is the previous version of the shoe. It is quite literally the same. They've changed nothing in the foam and the rubber outsole. The difference though is gonna lie in the upper. So you can probably see on camera there that this, the older version does have just traditional laces. And so you can, kind of adjust obviously as you need throughout. So a little bit of a different fit throughout the midfoot here. Whereas the new version, again, just like we talked about, has the quick lace system and just a slightly different upper with like the overlay. So it's this totally seamless overlay here. So that's just like the literally only difference.
Do you prefer one or the other?
I know I just said how much this bugged me, but honest, I would still prefer this.
Cool, they did something right then.
I really like being able to, because like you said, once you do kind of figure out how to like finagle, whatever word you use, like it around, it does like lock you down perfectly, and I never have to adjust my laces once like this is just all set, whereas I feel like, I'm always kind of adjusting things with these shoes. But so that was my, the only difference there and my only thought with that. What do you think are some other categories or some other shoes in this category that you would compare this to? Yeah,
so like on paper, if you're looking at door to trail, light trail kind of category, there's like the Pegasus Trail, the Brooks Ghost Trail, and then like the Hoka Challenger. Like on paper, those are kind of the same. I would say the only one that is similar in terms of cushion would be the Hoka Challenger. I think two other ones. One, which I just thought of, is the Nike Zagama. I've used that shoe as a road to trail, and even though it has the Vibram lugs, they're kind of laid out flatter, so it doesn't, you don't feel like the lugs as much when you're on either the road or smoother surfaces, and it's kind of got the similar cushion level. And then I thought it felt kind of similar to the Vomero.
Okay.
And the Vomero has a little bit of a rubber outsole that works kind of door to trail or something. And I think if they put the peg trail outsole on the Vomero, that would be, they should do that. And I think that would be pretty much this shoe.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that is.
That could just be me.
At some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, because it felt really unique to me. I couldn't really think of anything on my end that it was like, oh, this feels like this shoe.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say they feel exactly the same, but I think those are going to be similar enough. Yeah. And then what do you think, going to the foam, what do you think about the durability? Because like mine has 100 miles and it feels good, but also I get hesitant about just straight EVA foams these days.
For sure.
Especially when they're lighter like this.
Yeah, so my initial thought was that it was going to be super durable, and I think partially because of the rubber overlay, and then also just because like running in the 3s, I've done a lot of miles in these and they've felt like fine, and I haven't really noticed like a ton of pack down. And then with like the 87 miles that I've done in this shoe so far too, it still feels really good and really bouncy to me. But I don't know, I think it's a good, I didn't really think about the EVA side of it, where it's like, I do know that other shoes I've had that have purely been EVA have packed down like after a few hundred miles. And then you start to notice it kind of just like all of a sudden, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe like 400
That's what
miles?
I think. I think 400. I think if a shoe's going to be closer to that, say 250 range, by 100 miles I can tell. And this by 100 miles still feels fantastic. So I definitely think it'll get above that. But I also just kind of the makeup and look of it, I don't think it's going to be like a 500 plus mile shoe. I think you'll be able to take it that far, but how packed out it's going to be at that point.
For sure. Yeah, I think it will. For most people, it's going to last them a long time.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the durability.
Yeah. I guess with that too, if someone were to walk into Milestone, like what kind of a person would you be pulling the shoe out for, do you think?
Yeah, someone who's doing, again, door to trail kind of running, someone who's doing more light trail. Again, like thankfully we know a lot of the trails around here, so if they tell me Penasquitos or Lake Hodges or something like that, I'm going to bring this out. Someone, definitely who likes like a more higher cushion shoe. I think fit-wise and stability-wise, I know we talked about on some the more like technical or small rocks, it didn't feel stable. But I don't think that's what this shoe's designed for.
Totally.
But I'm not worried about like a overpronator or anything. What do you think?
I think all of that, totally agree. Also, I think for someone who's maybe like new in trail running and just kind of wants to dabble, but maybe doesn't want to pull the trigger and buy a super aggressive trail shoe. I think it's a very like inviting shoe for newer trail runners that does allow them to run out like, Penasquitos but still be able to run from their house. So it just kind of like opens the door for people to dip their toe into trail if they want to.
I just thought about it, but like I was saying, it felt good on the road. I think if someone wants a kind of higher cushion road shoe and wants a little more rubber on the outside, if they're worried about the foams breaking down, like this did not feel like a trail shoe when I was on the road, and it felt great. So I might start pulling this out for someone who wants more rubber on like a road shoe.
Actually, that's a really interesting thing that you just brought up too, because literally like last week I had someone come in who was just blowing through his shoes. Granted, he was running so many miles like weekly. It was very impressive, honestly. But I had talked to him about this shoe and I was like, this could be an option, like since you are blowing through them so fast, and he was trying to find something that's more durable. I was like, maybe one of these hybrids, just because it does have like a more durable rubber. So
do you think, so it seems like you like the shoe, are you going to keep it in your rotation?
I don't know, just because for me personally, I prefer to just have a road shoe and a trail shoe. And like, if I'm going to be trail running, I like to be on a techier trail. So I think for my use cases, it's probably not something I'll be reaching for. However, I think it will be a great shoe for other people though. What do you think?
I'm going to for sure keep it. Again, going to those lighter trails we have, I don't like having a very aggressive trail shoe, but I want more than a road shoe. So this is going to, I use this mainly as a door to trail. I'm gonna save that I'm gonna save the miles on it to use maybe some other shoes and test in that. And I'm gonna kind of put this away for those days I go on those lighter trail long runs. So I'm for sure gonna keep it. And
Cool.
yeah, I really liked it overall.
Heck yeah. Any other thoughts that you have on the shoe?
No, I mean, overall, I had a great experience in the shoe. I really liked it. I think if this shoe sounds intriguing, you should go into your local running store and give it a try. Yeah.
Yeah, and also one thing to note too is that there is a road version of this shoe as well. That's got just traditional laces. It has a less aggressive rubber outsole to it as well. So maybe give that one a shot too if you're not quite running to go the full outsole.
Yeah, perfect. So other than that, thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. All right, bye.
Thanks. See ya. Woo-hoo. Crushed it.
You should say, I'll say that, and maybe you can say the like, comment, subscribe, because last time I couldn't say it.
I have to say it.
Yes. Straight at the camera. Yeah. Too dangerous.
Savior.
Go deep.
Am I saying like, comment, subscribe?
Of course.
Or are you saying it?
I'll say it.
You don't want to say it?
I'll say it.
You
We
will
gotta
say
keep it
Okay, I was
consistent.
gonna say we gotta flow, Makai.
We gotta keep it consistent.
You can't be backing out on me.
But I was gonna say,
Yeah,
can't lean, can't kick. It's the dream sprint.